All right, guys, my name is Jake Teasler. If you don't know me, I'm new to the YouTube space as far as fitness-related content. I've got a YouTube channel for cars, Jake Teasler, latest Mustang and automotive news. I talk about cars and all sorts of stuff. But today we're going to talk about how to find your purpose. I've lost over 30 pounds of body fat at 40 years old, and I'm just going to do a little reading out of Epictetus about virtue and happiness and meaning and purpose. So I'm starting a coaching program. I'm using Instagram, but I think YouTube is going to be where I reach more people for this long-term format. So stick with me. We're going to do a quick little video on how to find your purpose, happiness versus purpose, and how to basically find purpose in your day-to-day activities and how to have a purposeful, virtuous life to help get you out of this depression and anxiety. And part of my story is I drove my car out to Los Angeles for a chick, and this is about 2007, and I ended up in my car, homeless. She was really gnarly, crazy, fighting, aggressive. I'd never been around a person that switched up like that before, from very, very loving to very, very aggressive, and it just threw me for a loop. I had a crazy allergic reaction. My skin on my arms fell off, and I also had to seek therapy to figure out what was going on. And basically I was in this abused partnership experience where they keep going back to the abuser, and I couldn't get out of it. So I saw a therapist. I got out of it and I started getting my life back together. I started eating better. I started training, a training coaching business, 6 figures, from working about 20 hours a week. And then I built my life up, and I got out of my anxiety and depression after I got back home. You know, it's a long story, but essentially I'm doing good now. But you have to do good daily through your purpose. So what is purpose? What does that even mean? Purpose is you're given talents, gifts, abilities, and interest and curiosity and attraction towards certain things in life. You are naturally born. You have an innate from your parents also, maybe. Like, for example, I really, really like cars. I love cars. But, you know, as much as I love cars, it's from my dad's. My dad, I remember him starting up this Harley Davidson. He had flat bottom boats with big motors sticking out of the back. I mean, if you've never been on a flat bottom boat with a motor on the back, just smacking the waves, like going through the lake. I mean, it is the most badass thing you can possibly do. The motor's exposed, it's right behind your head, and you're just holding onto the steering wheel, hitting the gas pedal in this little boat, just smacking the waves. It's aggressive, it's gnarly, it's fun. Grew up riding dirt bikes. These are all things that, like, I was fortunate enough to experience. I know a lot of people have not. But there's gonna be things like maybe even fishing for you. I'm not a fisherman, but there's gonna be little things that you're exposed to growing up. Could be rolling dice. It could be chess. It could be martial arts. It could be working out. It could be reading books. Everybody's got a public library. You could have been exposed to books, but you have a natural tendency. Those are the gifts that you've been given. Now, you want to listen to your gifts. You want to, and for me, so it's car. I'm very good at driving. I'm very good at diagnosing car-related issues. I'm just good around cars. I'm good around working out, and I have a natural predisposition to be strong, and I'm also pretty empathetic. I can hear and listen to people and understand where they've been because I've been through a lot, right? So I'm combining all 3 of my gifts into coaching, right? So you have to listen to your own gifts. What are your gifts? Are you good with people? Are you a good listener? Are you a leader? Do people naturally follow you? Do you like to read? Do you like to learn? Now, where people go wrong is they ignore their gifts and they try to be someone else. They try to double down on what other people have told them to do, and instead of listening to what they're actually good at. So instead of listening to what they're actually good at, they're they've tried to become someone else, and it's going to be really hard. Now, if that's where your interest is, that's totally fine. Be interested in that and spend your life working on that. And this will change, like your motivations will change, but let's keep it really simple today and just talk about your gifts and your purpose and how those align. So me being a one-on-one trainer, going house to house, training people like Andre 3000 or the royal family, the Saudi royal family, and meeting all these people and working with all these high-end people, I was just naturally good at it. They naturally trusted me. I listen, I'm empathetic, and I try to help the best I can. And a lot of people just need someone to listen to them, right? So I made a good living doing that. And I was trying to get into medical school, but I'm not that good at taking tests. I'm not that good. As much as I like learning, I don't have the grades. I don't have the record, the history to back it up. As much as I say I like to think I'm smart, intellectual, I had to work really hard just to get B's. And if you want to be a surgeon or something, you need straight A's all the way through, pretty much. You need to be more consistent than I was. I struggled to make B's, right? So I didn't, but then I had people wanting to pay me $100 an hour. So I just quit school after so many years of trying. And I immediately started making a bunch of money training people, right? So one way was listening to someone else, my uncle, I love him, but he was trying to guide me into medicine, which was fine. But my purpose was to help people through fitness and coaching. Mindset coaching, because now that I've been through a lot and I've overcome it, now I can go help other people, right? I don't want to sit there and train you one-on-one, teaching you technically how to lift this weight. I can do that, but I'm better served helping a lot of people through coaching versus just helping people one-on-one anymore, right? So I've learned through trial and error that listening to your gifts and leaning into your gifts. The gifts are what make you unique, right? If you go try to be a surgeon, there's other people that are psychologically wired up for that better than I am, for sure. They're better test takers. They might not be as good. I'm good with my hands because I've been changing brakes, working on cars. I'm pretty athletic, so I know how to use my hands. But as far as getting through the rigorous stuff, I'm ADHD, and a little impulsive, and I can use that stuff to make a decision, go fast and hard. But I go fast and hard. I don't go slow and steady for 10 years of studying, right? So I hope I made my point clear. So the difference between happiness and finding your purpose is listening to your gifts, the gifts that have been given to you, listening to your natural talents and abilities and your natural intuitions and what you're gravitated towards. So you're going to be gravitating, you have a gravity towards what you have a gravity towards, and you have to listen to that. Otherwise, you're just going to be doing what other people tell you to do and gravitating towards what other people are telling you. You're going to be very unhappy. There's not a lot of energy flowing in that. It's like a fake promise. The promise is you'll be happy once you get this thing. But if you're not happy working on it and you're not interested, it's not something you could just work on every day. It's still hard to make content and to read books it's easier just to like play video games, right? That's easier. But I get a lot more fulfillment out of working on my coaching business, reading stuff I like, talking about stuff I like, because this is my natural inclination and what I'm pulled towards. So purpose, let me read you a little bit of Epictetus. So the only prosperous life is the virtuous life. Virtue is our aim and purpose. The virtue that leads to enduring happiness is not a quid pro quo goodness. So Like, I'll be good in order to get something. So yeah, if you're trying to do this thing to get something, that's not it. The fulfillment comes from doing something every single day, and you actually feel good about it every single day. It's not for the outcome. It's because the process gives you a good feeling, because you know that you're working on something that's meaningful to you. Okay, so back to Epictetus. Goodness in and of itself is the practice and the reward. Goodness in and of itself is the practice and the reward. So goodness is the practice and the reward. So goodness, like your daily actions working on your purpose, is the reward itself. So if you can get that structure, if you can get your daily mode of operations down right, then you will like your life. Like, I wake up, I have my coffee, I go write for an hour or two, and then I'll speak about something I enjoy, and I'll integrate that into my social media for the day. And then I'll go lift weights, I hit my macros, I'll go to jujitsu, and then maybe have a date later in the day, or be a little bit more social and do some other stuff that's a little bit more fulfilling in a different aspect. That's not just purpose. But once you can get your daily mode of operation down, then you're in the flow. You're flowing into your purpose. So let's go on with Epictetus. Goodness isn't ostentatious piety or showy good manners. It's a lifelong series of subtle readjustments of our character. We fine-tune our thoughts, words, and deeds in a progressively wholesome direction. So it's a constant refinement of staying the course towards your purpose, your talents and abilities and what you're attracted to, staying on course, working towards it every day. The virtue inheres in our intentions and our deeds, not in the results. So this is it. The virtue inheres in our intentions. The virtue's in our intentions and our deeds, what we do, not in the results. So a virtuous life is just living on purpose, living and doing the duties that are virtuous, that you believe, that you're given with your gifts. So hitting my macros, getting in the best shape possible at 40 and sharing it with other people, telling people how I got out of depression and anxiety, sharing my life experiences, working with a bunch of rich people in Los Angeles and celebrities and whatever, and going from like poor living to my car to making a bunch of money, getting rich, and then being depressed again, and then being like, oh, of course I'm not happy. I don't like my life. I'm just driving around, I quit working on myself. I quit doing my own workouts. I quit taking my life serious. So I was just building up a nest egg of money to feel financially secure and stable, because I lived in my car, and I wanted to, once I started making money, I wanted to take that and learn how to financially be independent and retire early. But if you're going to retire early, you need things to do every single day that you're excited about. So I didn't want to just sit in my car. So you have to, if you guys think that you're going to make a bunch of money and you're going to be happy, you still need daily. The money is irrelevant. It's, are you working on things day to day that you want to work on every single day? I love going to jujitsu. I learned something every time. It was the hardest class last class because we were working harder. And I decided I was going to work harder and be tougher, be more proactive, right? And life is hard, but if you're working on things that you enjoy, it's so much better. So just because you have money, that doesn't mean anything. You need to be daily working on things that are meaningful, that are given to you from your gifts, something that you can build, something that you enjoy talking about, right? So let's carry on. Why should we bother being good? To be good is to be happy, to be tranquil and worry-free. When you actively engage in gradually refining yourself, you retreat from your lazy ways of covering yourself or making excuses. So this is talking about being lazy. When you get lazy, you become ashamed of yourself. You don't have confidence, right? We want to daily be putting in the work so that you feel good about yourself. because that's the worst if you don't have confidence and you're ashamed of yourself, right? So here he goes. Instead of feeling a persistent current of low-level shame, you move forward by using the creative possibilities of this moment, your current situation. You begin to fully inhabit this moment instead of seeking escape or wishing that what is going on where otherwise. Yeah, so you start getting into like, this is my life and this is the way I want it and this is what I'm going to work on. This is my purpose. And then you start feeling it and you start feeling better. So you move through life by being thoroughly in it. You get in the flow. You start working on like making this. I'm in the flow, right? The virtuous life holds these as treasures: your own right action, your fidelity, honor, and decency. Virtue is not a matter of degree, but an absolute. It's like you're doing it fully or you're not. You're either on the path or you're not. There's two ways. This in between means you're off. You're either on purpose or anything underneath on purpose is off purpose. I hope that makes sense for you. Anything, let's say this direction is on purpose. This is 100% on purpose. If you're 99% on purpose, you're basically off purpose because you start feeling shameful and integrity's off. You have to be 100% all in. And for me, that is counting my macros, doing my training, and then doing the work to share my system, my daily mode of operation, the things I've been through to help other people, and focusing on not an outcome, focusing on the daily process. Am I taking care of myself the best way I can? Am I learning? Am I working on myself? And am I helping other people? Or am I thinking of outcomes, selling programs versus the daily process, right? So if you would like coaching, if you would like help, if you would like to learn more about the daily mode of operation, how to get on a blueprint where you have task, macros to follow, training program to follow, weekly check-in, weekly team Zoom call, basically everything I did to lose 30 pounds at 40 years old, hit the link below. I'll give you a free week of coaching and we'll get you started on that for free. The biggest thing to take away from this is you're not trying to focus on an end result. You're trying to build a life that you actually love and that you actually enjoy. This stuff is what I love. I love teaching and reading about the deeper things in life. And that's what will sustain you. You know, I got a six-pack now, but 6 months ago I didn't have that. But you can do that in such a short time. Does it feel good to have a six-pack? Yes. It feels better though to work on my macros every day, do my training, and know mentally, psychologically that I've got things to do and I'm just blessed to be able to work on these things. Everyone has natural abilities and talents. Are you using your natural ability and talents? Maybe you're good with people, maybe you're a good helper, maybe you're a good listener, maybe you're a leader, maybe you have a lot of things that I don't have, and we complement each other, right? I might be strong and I can teach you how to do this and this and this. And then you also have these things that I don't have, right? And that's how everyone works together. But finding your purpose is not just copying someone else, but getting on a macro program and a nutrition program and doing training and getting yourself in great shape is just the beginning. Like, you don't have to have gifts to do that. That's just what you need to focus on to get yourself out of your depression or your anxiety in the beginning. You need a task. If you don't have a task, start slow, start eating better, start hitting the gym. But what helps me is literally you need structure. You need a plan to follow for your diet every single day. How many macros to eat every single day. You psychologically need a plan for your diet. You psychologically need a plan for your training. I know exactly what I'm gonna eat, how many calories, proteins, fats, carbs I'm gonna eat today. I know exactly what I'm gonna do for my exercises today, okay? You need that psychologically to be the best version of yourself, and it releases dopamine, makes you feel better, helps you get on your purpose even more. This is a process. If you need help with the process, hit me up, try a free week. I hope this was helpful of trying to understand happiness versus, using your gifts to find your purpose and then creating a daily mode of operation that will actually give you a fulfilling life, a prosperous, virtuous life versus just, getting distracted with the video games and all the nonsense where it's not going to give you a meaningful, long-term life where you feel proud and confident. Hope that helps. Catch you in the next video. If this was useful, please hit the thumbs up and say hello in the comment section.